decree which he signed. It was decree number 1. So the military has the power. Within the military, they formed a unit called Public Safety Unit. When you hear of public safety, you think they are going to safeguard the public, but the public safety unit was to arrest everybody whom they suspect that is an ally of Yoweri Museveni, who was in exile, an ally of Obote, an ally of Andrew Kahira. There were very many. They have to arrest you and take you in military barracks. That's what has caused us to join the struggle. We were running away, fleeing the country for our dear lives.
Wow, very interesting. And in there, as you are fleeing, I believe many fled and just chose not to be part of it. But you made the decision to come back and be part of it, to stay in Uganda and be part of the struggle. Many left and never came back. Many chose to stay behind. What really incited you to say yes?
That one is attached with a question of ideological thinking. We thought of liberating. We didn't ourselves thinking of coming back, of liberating brothers and sisters who were mistreated and being killed by Idi Amin. That's how it came all about. Then you have to apply a method on how to achieve what you have targeted to. The achievement was to engage militarily and confront the government of Idi Amin and overthrow him. Before we did so, Amin crossed and attacked Tanzania, which they called Kagera War, went up to Bukoba and made an international legal blunder by getting the flag. His military forces got the flag of Chama cha Mapinduzi of United Republic of Tanzania and brought it. And they exaggerated, saying that they have overthrown the government of Dar es Salaam. They wanted to go and overthrow the government of Dar es Salaam. Then that caused having other allies under, because Nyerere respected much the law, applied the Organization of African Unity. When they summoned Idi Amin, Amin overlooked every member state by telling them that he doesn't fear anybody else, only God. Others, and having declared himself life president. That's when all allies, Frelimo supported us, Zambia supported us, Tanzania TPDF, Tanzania People's Defense Forces supported us, and many more human rights bodies. Mostly we thank much the Amnesty International. Amnesty International wrote a report against Idi Amin. That report, when you read it, they included all those people whom he had killed, and they condemned him internationally with the help of the late Kanyihamba. By then Kanyihamba was a director of human rights in the United Nations. Then they condemned Amin because you cannot confront the war and attack a nation without reasonable causes. You have to convince even the Ugandans to join you. You have to convince them and give them viable objectives. When you are without tangible and viable objectives, they cannot support you.
You are watching UBC TV this morning. It's Heroes Day, and we do have Vianney Matovu, who is the Chief Whip and National Political Commissar of FRONASA, speaking with us about Heroes Day. We're starting off with a bit of history to understand where all of this comes from. But of course, generally looking into history, looking at retrospect, looking at lessons learned, and of course looking at accountability that has come a long way in regards to reflection on that. Be part of the conversation, and as you're being part of the conversation as you celebrate Heroes Day, who do you consider your hero in your community and why? 0709602592. There is a conversation on our X handle as well at UBC TV. Be part of it and share who you consider a hero in your community and why. Now, let's look at the struggle at that time. What did it mean to you? And does it still mean the same thing to you in this day and age today?
The struggle entails sacrifice for Ugandans, not for yourself. This is why very many people wonder that they had thought that after the overthrow, we were going to be generals, we were going to be ministers, we were going to be presidents. No. The program was to liberate the country and hand over back the nation to the civilians and respect very much and be under the civilian authority. This is why we maneuver and move the rule of the law. You have to move with the law. The laws are being constituted by the masses of the state through their representatives. Take an example. During the promulgation of the Constitution, the commissioners first went and collected views from the public. They compiled the constitutional draft. Then after the draft, it is the population or the voters who voted the Constituent Assembly. Then the Assembly promulgated the current Constitution of 1995. Within the Constitution, there is no where we were demanding that we consider those who fought. We consider those who sacrificed. We consider who supported materially. It was for the common good of all Ugandans, to balance the balancing bar of all Ugandans, because before the law, we are all equal. Nobody who is above the other.
Right. Do you think the meaning of what you struggled for has changed today?
It has not changed today, but there is the struggle for leadership. And there is the current, the current habit, what they have brought, calling it pressure group. I hear it from the news that pressure group, this is a pressure group, this is what, we are not supposed to have pressure groups. Let us have a fair play of interested parties, a fair play and a balancing of the leadership without pressure. When you bring pressure, that means that you are impatient. You are not patient to wait until your turn comes, because you are being pressurized either by situations, either by wish and hope, or by any angle of yours which may cause the play of politics as well.
Interesting. So therein, what's your view on, well, before NUP became a party, I think the pressure group would be people power, the slogan. But we also have the Patriotic League of Uganda that's led by the CDF. What would you think of it, with the good work that you see, the runs that are doing charitable work therein, and the masses that he garners? What would you comment on it?
My comment is one: when you are within the party internally, and then you create internal fragmentation, you come out with other wings, with other objectives and programs, then you may misunderstand each other and fail to accommodate each other. For us, we recommend politics of accommodation. There is the leadership, and there are those who are accommodated within. But not this one, because we can read now, NRM can read divergent views contrary to PLU. And this one can be offended somewhere, somehow, and you find colliding. Because the law, which is leading and enshrining NRM, it is not the same law that is enshrining PLU. There you are parallel in the thinking and the ideology. And you are not allowed, when you form PLU, you are not allowed to use the constitution of NRM. To use it, you need first to go and get the authority. There you are creating hurdles of not accommodating each other, and you are creating hurdles of impatience within that line of leadership. Because what I know, nobody who has chased the members of PLU out of NRM. Now there is a question, what made them get out of NRM and form PLU? They need to be frank and open to us. You know, when the Europeans came here, they left their own education here, which makes us hypocritical. I cannot tell you my inner side of thinking. I only bring a cosmetic way of approach, not telling you what I am targeting and the agenda internally. I can only be cosmetic there, saying that I am marching with you, I am with you, we are all together, moving together, while internally there are other hidden agendas. That's why we don't recommend the split, because internal fragmentation causes the problems. It is a problematic handling of the affairs of the political party. Because the political party business should be handled by branches, committees, and governing bodies as per the constitution of that party. Not having, because now they are using very many words. When you go in another party, we have foot soldiers. We don't know the essence of foot soldiery, how it comes in. Elsewhere, we have disciples. It is like now a gospel. Then elsewhere, pressure groups. I don't know why they are pressurized, why the law gives them the mandate to participate freely as it requires them, as long as you have the enshrined qualifications within the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, considering the age from 18 and above. You are allowed even to contest at the post of presidency. But now others are going with pressure, others are going with whatever. I don't know what is pressurizing them. They should bring a report to the public why a pressure is arising at this time, while things are very open to them. And most of them, they are having positions. They are not outside like me. They are with positions. They are inside. They are the key players, better than me. And me, I'm not pressurized. Let me give you what ran when the president appointed the newly appointed cabinet. I have heard some of the prayers saying, for us, we are not considered. For us, we will come. Why is it that us, we don't pressurize the president that we want to recommend people? Why is it that we don't? And we are going to challenge them with the report which the president gave the nation. Was complaining about allowances and the people failing to do for their people because of the salaries. Among those ministers who will abide with the president's call to sacrifice for the people, there are very few out of 80. I can sample some few. With Katumba Wamara, can do without a salary and anything. Crespas Yonga can, because they have been doing this job freely, not with remunerations. Simon Morongo has been working for us here without being paid for. We have this Tumukunde. Tumukunde has sacrificed long ago. But when you bring these ones from schools with the European art of remunerations, because I'm seeing adverts, I'd like to request Katumba Wamala, as he's being appointed as the Minister of Public Service, to fight entirely that one of advertising a job, and you put the salary, and they are the words they use, Joyce remunerations. For me, I don't know that word. I have heard it in the news. We have this job. When you are through with joint remuneration, there are some of the jobs which attract very many people and conflict. They mention even the salary to be given, the fringe benefits. We hear words which are new to us. For us, we don't reach that level.
Very interesting. Having a conversation with Vianney Matovu. He is the Chief Whip and National Political Commissar of FRONASA. And we're looking at Heroes Day, celebrating Heroes Day here in Uganda. So as you can see on your screen, some of the pictures of the day that the NRA got regular ranks. It was on the 5th of February, 1988. That's some of the footage from that particular day. This conversation does definitely continue. And as we celebrate Heroes Day, who do you consider a hero in your community? Now, we'll definitely pause this conversation and it will be continuing right after the business desk news. But allow me first close it off with a couple of your comments that have come through. A blessed Heroes Day to Julie and Nyonyi Ntono. It feels good appreciating your own. You are my heroes. Thank you. I don't have much to say, but may the living God increase your health, knowledge, and protection. I present to you my little scripture, Jeremiah 17:10. Lord, search the heart and examine the mind, to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve. That is very profound, and I appreciate you. Good morning, Julie and our guest. I'm Cricket Derek Gargamel. We all know the month of June is dominated by the incident that happened on 3rd June, and we commemorate it globally. Trust me, it's not easy to shed blood. I think you meant the 9th of June, and you say, trust me, it's not easy to shed blood, but these men stood firmly and refused to denounce Christ and their, oh, you meant 3rd June actually, and refused to denounce Christ, and their death gave momentum to Christianity. Therefore, on this Heroes Day, I celebrate the Holy Uganda martyrs. Okay, that's very profound. And as my heroes, their innocent blood opened up our eyes towards the truth, and now we courageously know that once we bond with Christ, we can overcome and be victorious. I celebrate you, my lifetime heroes, today. Cricket Derek Gargamel. And finally, this is Kimaleni Michael from Bududa, as usual. My heroes are my late father, Mzee Manyanga Nathan, who nurtured me well to where I am, and my P7 late teacher, Mr. Kutosi Godfrey, who made me where I am, and may the Lord continue, may he continue to rest in peace. Thank you so much for being on the show. For now, we take a pause. We'll definitely be back with Vianney Matovu. If you love your history, if you love to delve deep into reflection, if you'd love to learn a lesson or two, especially as a young Ugandan, one who was not there when the liberation struggles took place, this is the day for you to learn, unlearn, and relearn. We'll be right back in just a bit. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Hi, good morning. I'm Nitesh. I'm from Mumbai, India. My company name is Wings and Nest Travels, and I'm here in Uganda since since 14 May. And from that time till now, we have really been served very good food. The food here is very fresh. Even the fruits and the vegetables are very good. The best part here is that they have a mix of both, like veg and non-veg options. They also have vegan meals, and if you're allergic to any of the meals, then you can definitely tell the chef and he'll prepare accordingly to your taste what suits you the best. So the taste of the food is really awesome. There is no problem at all. We did not have any problem with regards to the food. Any meals, you go to any restaurants here, any hotels, whichever we stayed, it's been really good. The food has been awesome here. So definitely you can come with your family and friends and there will be no issue of the food, at least in Uganda. Anywhere you go, they are very cooperative and they give you the best food.
So we have been, here in Uganda from last almost 7 days, and we went from Kampala to Vuindi first, and we stayed in like Silverback Lodge, which was fantastic in terms of the comfort and the food. They were serving some delicious meals, and after that we went to Queen Elizabeth, and also we had a decent food there. And after that, now we have come to Chimpundu in Chibale. Again, we had a fantastic stay here along with a very good food. So I think food-wise there is no problem. And even if you want to have Indian food, so you will always find maybe 1 or 2 Indian dishes in, all the buffets they have, like for the lunch, dinner and breakfast. So I think food-wise there is no problem at all in Uganda. You will definitely find good food. Thank you.
So food in Uganda is amazing. Like they have plenty of food, from traditional matoke to arrowroot and all that. Like they have so much food at the lodges also. If you want to try the traditional food or the normal English meals, everything is available for you. It's done.
Hi, my name is Lizega from South Africa. So today is the last day of our farm trip. We have visited different places. We have seen the gorillas, the chimpanzees. We've done the safari in Queen Elizabeth National Park. And I can confidently say now I can sell Uganda as one of the best countries in Africa.
Hi, my name is Arvind, and I'm here at the last leg of the tour. We had an awesome, wonderful tour hosted by POATE, Ugandan government, tourism department, and we had seen gorillas, chimpanzees, we saw tree climbing lines, we saw leopards. What else we can ask for? And beautiful country, beautiful people, beautiful services.
Brought to you by
Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Thanks for being with us and keeping it on UBC TV this public holiday, Heroes Day. Now let's take a look at our business story. The Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, together with the Office of the President, have distributed coffee processing machines to farmers in Kasese to elevate coffee production and processing while adding value to it. Now, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Major General Retired David Kasura, cited how these will lift Uganda's agro-industrialization agenda and strengthen market access.
Second largest coffee producing district with approximately. Kasese is Uganda's second largest coffee producing district with approximately 85% of the district's farmers grow coffee, producing roughly 250 tons of coffee annually. With 80% of production being Arabica and 20% Robusta, Kasese still encounters hurdles that impact both yield and bean quality.
You are all aware that Kasese is prone to dry spells in some season, but also sometimes the floods and even the mudslides. All these affect our production.
Through their Coffee Value Addition and Farmer Empowerment Project, Ministry of Agriculture and other stakeholders distributed coffee processing machines to Kasese coffee farmers. This initiative links Uganda's agro-industrialization agenda to empower farmers, strengthen market access, and boost Uganda's global coffee profile.
We want to enhance coffee quality through taplings, through provision of tapling to farmers for proper drying of coffee. Number 4, to promote sustainable practices that are environmentally and socially acceptable in coffee production.
Endeavor and ensure that you maintain the quality of the coffee. Guard the Uganda coffee on the global market has a very good reputation.
With such interventions, the Office of the President is optimistic of improvement in both coffee production and income.
And we want to see that your efforts in growing, planting, growing, processing coffee and marketing it is improved, and you get better money out of it than what you are getting today.
To want to help them, to support them with training, where possible with some machinery. Like there's one where we went and they are doing it, but they didn't have a coffee machine where they can actually make coffee from the farm to the cup.
We are supporting the agricultural sector to ensure that we achieve the target of value addition for coffee. Apart from the electricity needs that we have assessed, and we will be supporting a number of the cooperatives with transformers, upgrading their power supply. Indeed, the issue of the cost of fuel then becomes pertinent.
The equipment were distributed to Bukonzo Organic Farmers, a union of 13 smallholder farmers, Renzori Organic Coffee Farmers, and a few farmers.
They have given us machines whose capacity is a bit high, and our farmers will be able to produce quality coffee. They are going to reduce post-harvest handling issues so that we are able to deliver our coffee on time.
Lydia Chomkama and Juma Samba, UBC News.
Thank you, Lydia and Juma Samba. We hope the machines are put to best use and well maintained. Now that brings us to the end of our business stories this morning. We'll take a break, and when we return, Julie and Adjust still on Heroes Day. Keep it with us.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, you can now get all the chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
I know what Uganda needs. When General Caleb Akantwanaho retired, Salim Saleh presented his long, detailed analysis of Uganda's economy and structured recommendations for improvement in the form of the Third National Development Plan, NDP-3, to President Museveni. He laid out the kinds of problems that many Ugandans feel every day, but rarely see captured in one place. He was doing what he has done for years, breaking down the problems holding back ordinary Ugandans. He talked about distortions in factors of production, such as land conflicts that choke investment, the high cost of finance for ordinary people, the shortage of skills among youth, the slow pace of value addition, and the gap between production in the villages and the factories in industrial parks. It was the kind of diagnosis a technocrat offers when trying to get a country unstuck. The president's reply was striking in its simplicity. I know what Uganda needs. At first, to others, it might have sounded almost dismissive. But when placed in the context of 40 years of state rebuilding, economic reform, and political stability, it revealed something deeper. A belief that Uganda's path to transformation has been consistent, deliberate, and informed by lived experience rather than theory. His confidence is not based on guesswork. It's based on the journey already traveled. He always stresses that any serious revolutionary discussion about the economy of Uganda, or indeed much of Africa, should include the following questions. 1. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1900 at the dawn of colonialism? 2. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1962 at the sunset of colonialism? 3. How and what was the magnitude of the collapse of the Ugandan economy between 1971 and 1986? Idi Amin, Obote II, Okello. 4. What, therefore, was the economy of Uganda like in 1986? 5. What is the Ugandan economy like today and why?
olokuwanira okununula eggwanga abatuuze b'eggwanga kambabuulire mwena twamala emyaka etaano mu nsiko olokuwanira okununula.
Good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV this morning. That clip right there is a video of the fallen comrades, those who were part of the struggle for liberating Uganda. And one would wonder what's the difference between Liberation Day and Heroes Day. Liberation Day is the day Uganda was liberated, you know, after the 5 years. But Heroes Day is to remember those who fought in the struggle, in the liberation. And some of them are the pictures that you've been seeing, fallen soldiers, but still remembered on this Heroes Day, the 9th of June 2026, which will be scientifically celebrated because, as we know, the obvious reasons of Ebola. But the president will definitely address the nation regards that, commemorating Heroes Day and matters of national importance on radio, TV, and social media at 10 a.m. this morning, something that you should look forward to. But we do continue with the conversation that we had started earlier on with Vianney Matovu, the Chief Whip of FRONASA, National Political Commissar of FRONASA as well. And if you're wondering what FRONASA is, it's the Front for National Salvation. And according to what is written in the internet, it was known as a rebel group. But I'll definitely ask Vianney here, would you consider it a rebel group?
Now,
was it a rebel group to you?
That is a colonial role. Because colonialists, they are self-aggrandizement. The sitting government knows itself that it is the only qualifying to be. That's why they create some deadening word, frustrating word, so that the people cannot support the liberation program, calling them rebel group, bandits, and what. They reached even the level of blindfolding us that we are sorcerers, that some of us can change into cats, can change, in order to scare the understanding of the people.
By the way, do you know that conversation is still within the masses?
No.
Where people, but of course it's street talk, it's really street talk, it's something that you can't take into consideration. But I will tell you that there are people you find having conversations of, did you know that Museveni used to turn into something else during the Bush War?
Those are mythologies, so that people can get rid of you.
Right.
Because when they learn that you change, you do what according to the current wisdom of the public, they cannot associate with you. They think that you are a sorcerer. You are not on the program of liberating a nation.
Right.
You are only on the program of promoting socialism. That's why they were creating some such stories. And even demeaning you to the level of the international world. Because to fight the war and overthrow the government, you first with a diplomatic war. When you win a diplomatic war, that's when you have the capability.
So the game is to
overthrow.
create a narrative.
Yes. Now the sitting government must create some such a fabricated stories to make you dented so that the people can get rid of you. That's why they were creating so bandit. And others were saying that these are not national laws, so that people cannot support you, because this was a national cause to liberate a nation. When they involve some such a dent to make people perceive you negatively, then they have to get rid of you. But of course, as you know, the organization must form a wing, which we call political wing, to go and challenge whichever lie is being imparted into the public.
Very interesting. Looking at some of the pictures that have, the slides that have played, what has it made you feel like? Well, what does it make you feel like?
These pictures, most of them and all of them, they are personally known to me. They challenge most of us about our history. We must go back and reach the families of these comrades of ours and see, are they enjoying the fruits of their foreign friends, fathers, and mothers within this new current national resistance movement or not. And this is why I've been agitating for the constitutionalization of a body that should be overseeing this. We wanted to call it the Historical Council, so that it can integrate, cut across the whole nation and even beyond. Because when you talk of FRONASA, you don't only talk of only Uganda. You talk of South Sudan, you talk of Tanzania, DRC, Rwanda, Burundi, Kenya, Mozambique, and even Zambia. So we must constitute a body that should be overseeing this. And even Parliament is betraying most of us. This sacrifice and the death, which was sealed with total sanguinary within the liberation of this country, to the rule of law, which they are enjoying. These parliamentarians and other public servants are enjoying the rule of law when things were rolled back to the law. Let me give them the example. The parliament, disbanded it for 8 years. When FRONASA, Maruma, and Save Uganda movement and other factions, TPDF and the Frelimo overthrew we restored it back. The parliament came. And it was not for those who fought the war. It was not for those who sympathized. It was not for those who supported materially. It was for those who qualify as per the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Now, when I hear these debates, not considering them, not even minding, there are some others who were challenging them, that those were of a long ago. We don't even mind putting them on the order paper.
Why do you think it's a challenge, yet NRM has the biggest number of members of parliament representing?
When you bring those people who doesn't have a whip, there is what we call whip. The whip shouldn't be a member of parliament, but because of self-aggrandizement, of fighting for jobs, self-centeredness of the syndrome we have in Uganda, they put a law stipulating that to be a chief whip, you are supposed to be a member of parliament. My suggestion to them to amend this one is a chief whip should be a historical member. To keep whipping them that they are our people. For example, you may go to some of these families, you find very many of those, they are very poor. Some of them didn't attend school because no resources, who were to be the breadwinners died in the war. And you find some many innumerable challenges there, which are causing news which are sad and which are causing written papers like this. I always see people stoning on us that they use a lot of words, journalists, they have their language in the papers.
Right.
That this one went this one went. Now, to clean this, the chief whip must be a historical member, and that member should be accountable to those historical members who are still alive and the families, because the law must be as I am suggesting to the nation, that if I die, my children, my wife, and if they are not there, the children, they are those who were not with children, the mother and the father. If the fathers are not there, they go to
the siblings,
the family, or the entire clan to benefit. So that one, the whip, is the one who should be whipping these people that know. As you are enjoying these fruits, as you are eating, as you are carrying these, one time we were surprised to find one person carrying 100 millions in a car on a washing bay.
Don't you think this would have been perhaps injected? The ideology would have been maybe sold during the Chankwanzi retreat, the recent Chankwanzi retreat where NRM MPs...
The Chankwanzi retreat is only with them. They are retreating themselves. The retreat, they should invite the historians to come and give them their own programs and challenges.
And you know
so
the chief historian was there, the president of Uganda.
Him alone, when he starts demanding, they will view him as if he's not ready to work with them, is favoring his comrades. With him, we don't want him to involve. Because when he involves, they will look at him as if he doesn't consider them to be serving the nation. He's only interested in his comrades. It should be originated from here. Himself is to make a support and a push and a backup. That's what we require from him. Because most of us, we are there. Now, I am putting a challenge to those ministers I have mentioned. Because most of them, they are historical members. They should also, in a parliament, form a historical regional wing. Like these people, we have Uganda caucus. We want historical caucus in parliament, led by them, so that they could come on my desk, receive packages of our requests, demands, and challenges, so that they can table them on the floor of parliament.
Right. We are having a conversation with Vianney Matovu. He is the Chief Whip, National Chief Whip and National Political Commissar of FRONASA, and he's speaking with us about Heroes Day. We're looking at many things, the history, the, the retrospect, the lessons therein, accountability at that. Be part of the conversation, 0709 602592. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and many comments had already come through even before you. But I will start with one that says, good morning UBC. Senior Matovu still looking young, yet he participated in the liberation struggle when some of us were still being biologically processed. My father helped in connecting the old model films when these fighters were in Mount Rwenzori, but nothing is remembered about him. I see you're called James. And good morning everyone on UBC. Wish you all the best, and to my beautiful mom, my hero, thank you for the show. Thank you so much for being on the show as well, Angela. Sorry for not following the program. Are we going to have World Cup live on UBC? Yes, please. We shall have World Cup live on UBC. You'll be following all the games. And good morning, presenter. My name is Mwesigu Mujuku Richard, living in Bovandi, Sub-County, Bondebujo District. According to me, my first heroes are Mzee Mujuku Edson and the late Kwejelia Grace, without forgetting all the descendants who made me exist on this planet. Politically, Bondebujo, I surely take the late Honorable Bambalira John Jackson as a hero, looking at his historical record of serving the country right as first NRC representative under the NRM government, Bondebujo District, with a very clean reputation, free of corruption. Thank you so much. And all right, I'll pause the comments there for now as we continue on with our conversation. And just to, scrap off a bit of history again, are there some of the liberation fighters you believe whose stories has not been told to Ugandans?
Yes, there are many more of them, because now in all ministries there is no that package to package their stories. Because their stories, you have to research deeply and contact those who were with them and give you the right story. And then we go further into archives to package them. Due to now the current law doesn't involve them everything. When you change it to the law governed state, you must make sure and be conscious with the law in place. Take an example. In Mozambique, they constituted a law with them, those who began with Frelimo. Let it be the president of Mozambique. Every program, they must first go and consult the veterans. They first go and talk with the veterans and get the guidance from them. But here, it is the mandate. In our laws, we created what we call mandate. Even if I write to the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs saying that let us have a historical council, he will respond back that you are going to take my mandate, obligations, and those words which are chasing them out. It is only the law. The creation of the current law was to distance away the most key players out of the system so that they can be favored by the sole wish players within the system. This is why most of the people, they are not happy, those who are in service, they are not happy with His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Because whichever reports they write, the speeches, when he reaches at the podium, doesn't read them. Take an example. When he was swearing in, the lecture he gave is not the speech that was coming from the literary, because those of the literary cannot write. How he challenged them that for you, Bazukuru, you don't know. Let me teach you how things were proper.
That's why most of the time his speeches, most of the time, have in 1986.
Yes.
That's the line that most Ugandans, most Bazukulu will relate with in 1986, and then he starts.
Yes. When you forget where you come from, you will not know where you are and where you are going. That's why we base much on history. This is why very many people wonder that history repeats itself. That means history cannot be rubbed off. It must remain, whether you like or not, because they don't need to hear all these stories, and UBC featuring these ones, they don't want. But they must view them, because it is a fact. That's how we crossed up to governance. It was not on a silver plate that it was given out, or it was not by table negotiations and the other means. It was by civil disobedience, engagement, and overthrow of the tyrannical regime. So the history remained like that. Now, what we need to handle seriously, it is the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. Because in our 10 points program, we had the fight of corruption. And now, legal. In Uganda, we have two types of corruption: illegal corruption and legal corruption. Legal corruption is within the parliament with the parliamentary commission. When the parliamentary commission sits, approves with the minutes that service award of trillions and trillions of dollars must be taken by one person, it is not criminal. It is good. And then others who are not at the level of parliament, as long as you are attempted, you are criminally charged, prosecuted, and we want a law which affects all of us, which disciplines all of us, not a segregative one. So with parliament, I will be sure, I'm not yet sure, when these members of parliament, of the 12th parliament, reform and change and remove the following: putting their own salaries, determining emoluments by themselves, service awards, as they have come out with what they call restructuring government expenditure. And before they start with that on the table and the floor of the parliament, let them traverse the whole country and get our views. Because parliament is acting in isolation without, because when you recess, anybody taking his own task to go in his constituency cannot meet all the voters there. They have camps. In their formations, they have camps. Must go and get his camp. The camp which was not supporting him, those views we shall miss them. Now we need a neutral body to go village per village, changing languages, not remaining in English alone. Then they package back a report. Then that well-researched report, be tabled in parliament, becomes out a law. Because they always think for the people and put laws to be enforced, and you find affecting the people. And you find causing conflict within the implementation.
Right. A lot of lessons now we're picking as the younger generation from your submission there. Allow me to read a comment that is coming through from Katwesi Johnson. And he says, good morning, I consider Mzee, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, as a hero because he initiated the struggle and has managed to stand for his people according to how he understands, even though he is always abused by low thinkers every time. I congratulate all Ugandans that followed the president to fight for confidence and stability in our nation. I think the current government should understand that bringing unnecessary laws always can't stop the affected from trying always to seek for their mental peace. Generally, if the situation doesn't change and we're not listened to, I shall lead to do the same as they did. I'm Katwesi J. Johnson, presidential aspirant, 2031. Thank you, Katwesi J, for being part of the show. A lot of lessons there that you share, right from what the problem of parliament is, but you also did highlight earlier on, you did highlight on the problem of pressure groups, foot soldiers, and the fact that, for example, now the new ministers, the new cabinet that we have, the ones that are on street language are called stokempia. They focus more on things like remuneration, benefits, things that come along with that ministerial position. But therein, of course, you based on the fact that some of them are even part of the pressure groups. Therein, take an example of PLU. And you wondered what exactly that means, especially with these pressure groups working parallel to the ideology of NRM. It therein leaves a conundrum. Do you think, in your perspective, do you think that the goals that took you to the struggle, do you think they are achieved in today's Uganda? Are you seeing some of the goals scored?
When we surrender, there is what we call surrendering. When we surrender, and those are achieved, will die away. We need not to surrender our struggle. We have to remain upholding it, and we must command the highest reasonable decision making, not unreasonable to overhaul them. Now we need to take them for lectures, mostly us and the President of the Republic of Uganda, because recordings are there, and those which are not recordings we shall tell stories to them, live ones, to inform them that one time could the president, when he was commanding the front, parade them and ask them, what is your problem? None of them, those struggleists, had told President Museveni that we want the following salaries and what. They could tell him that we must be vigilant, fight and liberate our people with their property. But these ones are saying that however much you accrue tax, they have even caused problems to him. To find a president quarreling with the community of traders, even challenging, they were bitter on him because of not his mistakes, because of the mistakes of these people who are targeting. There is this syndrome which we need to educate these young people and do away with is one. When the news ran that you have been appointed here and here, the first on the list is I will shift my cost of living to this level. Secondly, I will be with farms. Thirdly, with buildings all over the country. Fourthly, flying abroad. And this legislation of allowing members of parliament to fly abroad, they are not representatives of abroad. They are representatives of Uganda. It should die away. I would like to get someone who will sacrifice for us and bring it back on the floor of parliament. I want it thrown out from the parliament. That these days are for, and even considering what they call insurance for themselves, not their people who elected them, forgetting that they are on the basis of elective mandate. That is betrayal of the population and the constituency you are representing. These are there as representative. And we must change calling it parliament. We call it the House of Representatives. And this honorable, making them demagoguery, should be out and be representatives. Because when they become honorable, who can even challenge? Who can ask a question to them?
Interesting.
Because, and there is a law which they created in parliament there, which is helping them to close our mouth. Entire population of the millions of people and of Uganda, their mouths are closed with one law which they created that annoying to be a charge, a criminal charge. That this one, I see prosecutions in court that they are prosecuting me or you, that you have annoyed a honorable, a person of honorable. That's how they make charges. It's these police. How can I know that which I am going to share with the viewers here will annoy them or will annoy others? And it must annoy them because the parliament, they are ready to take the highest percentage of the budget of Uganda. I am now challenging that it should be cut out. They will be annoyed. Should I be taken for prosecutions in courts?
Very interesting. Now, therein you ask, you rhetorically ask very interesting questions, and it brings me to the thought of Uganda is largely now a young population. 75% of Ugandans are young people. How do you think the message of patriotism can be weaved into their systems? Like it was for you, you were once young, you were young people, and at the stage of your life, at that stage of your life, it's when you chose to sacrifice for Uganda. So in this day and age, how best do you think that message can be sunk in the hearts of many Ugandans, but also from the questions, rhetoric questions you've asked of whatever I say, it shall be questions. One would now bring up the question of the current political prisoners that we do have. What's your statement on them?
Now is to emulate. There is what we call emulation. They have to emulate what we did. Secondly, we need to change the curriculum. I wrote a letter to the national curriculum that they should change packaging the packages of courseworks and units without going to the public, learning the public, what do they wish to be taught to, what do they wish to study. But for them, they sit there and organize what they wish should be taught in Uganda. And what will help us strongly, this curriculum scrapped out civic education at the lower level, political education at the highest level, and political science at many institutions. It should be reverted back. That's when we shall get a way and a mean of bringing these things to them. Because when there is no political science and political education in the university, no research about it, and the library should be constructed mainly to extract all these they were talking about. Then they bring like Lieutenant Colonel Frank Aguma, who was the first chief finance controller of NRA. They saw you how he transcended from zero to that level of sacrifice. Then you go to Mule Muwanga, even you can go there at Matuga. Mule Muwanga is from Matuga. You can go to Matuga and you find the people of Matuga not knowing him. Mule Muwanga started in Cabo Delgado in Mozambique, up to here, then Ruwero. Then unfortunately, he died before the struggle was achieved.
Right.
Then all those you have been seeing, you can reach in their village and you find nobody who has ever had any story about them. So when you don't have stories and you maintain, I really wonder with the national curriculum to scrap our history, which is current, and maintain Napoleon. Even my father, even my grandfather doesn't know Napoleon. But with Napoleon, it is heresy on the lectures of the whole 4 hours of the university, of the secondary, of where. But to get how the struggle started since 1970s to date, we are still in the struggle, because when we were with the Mozambican, they told us in Portuguese that a luta continua. The struggle continues. This is why you saw Nelson Mandela told the people, when they were telling him that you can continue, he told them that when you climb a great hill, you think you will finish the walk. But having reached on the plateau, you find there are many more hills to climb. To save you is to end with there, because you will not climb many more of them and complete them. So these ones, they are still with the history and the science, which is not current, which is ancient. We need to revise all the courseworks units. Let it be of science, technology, and arts within all schools up to the tertiary level, right, in order to help us. Because during the Bush War, we had people who could invent landmines, not those ones from America, from Israel, from where. But now the current law from the Parliament of Uganda, when they suspect that I have anything similar to a firearm, the police must seal off this studio, arrest me, charge me, take me to court. That's why we miss our inventory. And science die in that way. That law is not an African law. It is a European law. After when they got a report that in Africa, there are many more scientists and doctors, they decided to put that law to help them for us to miss the industrial revolution. They were knocking the brain industrial revolution of us. Right. Because many more are here. You have them on recordings because you cover courts. Very many people are there. And I want today, as president is going to address the nation on heroes, those should be recognized as heroes and be released.
The political prisoners?
No, these ones whom they take, that they were trying to invent a firearm, they were trying to let them being brought back and taken to the Ministry of Science and Technology. They do the work.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And therein now let's also speak into how best do you think these lessons can be applied in handling the issue of political prisoners, because you notice many Ugandans are so stuck and held to that issue, and yet as Ugandans we need to move on, we need to have a way forward as we share ideas, even if they differ from what the president believes should be as. How best do you think, or do you suggest that issue should be handled?
The issue of political prisoners,
yes.
It should be handled in this way. It shouldn't be handled with old laws. The old laws are creating problems. In case, as I'm here addressing, when I bring an issue of critiquing is an offense. So we need to reform those laws out of Uganda so that we can create open criticism, fair play of ideas, exchange of ideas, so that in case this is the director of public prosecutions, this is police, we must create current police, not colonial police. We must run away from the old penal code. The penal code which we are basing on to charge our people is far in centuries. We must get new Directorate of Public Prosecutions, which is people as it is enshrined, Directorate of Public Prosecutions. But the Directorate of Public Prosecutions doesn't listen to the public as it is, but it only listens to the police, what it has investigated and brought to them for perusal and prosecutionary sanctions. It should be the public to bring a report.
Right.
For example, I am arrested here, that I have done blah blah. Now, the staff of here, they are in the know. Let them sit down, write a report that this one originated from political malice, political hatred, their hatred of land matters, and others which are causing this, which has caused these ones to fabricate this criminal charge against this victim. What you do, acquit him and discontinue criminal proceedings against him. That's what can help us. Then even court, the court must be controlled by the public. The court has a law which came from Parliament that matters of court when they will try to help them to know what has transpired, you are acting prejudicial. Matters of the court, you are not supposed to, as if these judges and magistrates are always on crime scenes where these scenarios take place. They are not there. We should be our eyes and their ears. But for them, they say, contempt. You are contempting court.
Contempt of court.
This one, it is the discretion. They are like demagogues. The discretion of court, of the presiding judge is the one to decide. This is why you see there is a problem in court here, which we have all sided away to correct. Because the parties aggrieved want the magistrate to recuse. Then the judge is refusing to recuse, becoming an interested party. That's dangerous.
Interesting perspective and a nudge in our thinking and comprehending these matters that you arise and you just nudge on there. Allow me get into some of the comments that we do have. Good morning. I also grew up while they were telling us that President Museveni can change into a cat. Happy Heroes Day. Good morning. I'm Tayewa Derek from Kabale, now working from Iganga. My regards to all the heroes. Good morning, UBC. Good morning. Thank you for the show. My hero is my mom, Aunt Margaret, Aunt Mary, and my sister Mega, Sister Mercy, sisters, and my brothers, cousins, and friends. Thank you. I love watching UBC. I'm Alice from SETA. Thank you, Alice, for being on the show. Good morning, UBC. I'm from Tororo. My uncle participated in the Liberation War. He was called Reverend Father Okot Christopher, who was based in Tanzania. they have never remembered him. Do you recognize the name?
I know him. You first read, I will talk about the Reverend.
All right. Good morning, Uganda. I'd like to think Uganda needs another liberation. What does Mr. Matovu comment about Dr. Kizza Besigye and the recent elections? And good morning, UBC, and thank you for the presentation by the visitor historical. May he let me understand the relationship between NRM and PLU. Are we seeing ourselves in two governments in one country? And finally, good morning, Julie. I'm James from Kabale. Thank you for the program. I have liked this guy because he has spoken a lot of sense. I want him to address the issue of democracy and human rights. Can I have also his contact? All right, we'll see about that. But let's delve deep into some of the concerns. We'll start off with one who mentioned that his father, his uncle, Reverend Father Okoth Christopher, was also part of the Liberation War. You said that you recognize him.
Reverend Father Christopher, of course, was now, by then it was Arusha, but now they subdivided it. It is in Mosh, Karongero Parish. Reverend Father Christopher, of course, if he was not there, there should be no the revolution of Fronasa, because he's the one who received President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in that place, helped him to get a job there, and supported material. Is recognized among our own founder members. For me, I know him personally, and I am in arrangement to go to Tororo and meet the Archbishop. We organize how he can be exhumed back, because for us, we know our government issues and how we repatriate our remains. But those of the theology, we shall consult the canon law, because he's the one who was neutral here. And he even was a member of us, of UPM. He contested in Tororo as our candidate of UPM, and he was disturbed entirely, and he was a Minister of Internal Affairs here in the first government that was formed by UNLF. Then Father Christopher, of course, those writers, they wrote that, if you want to know much about him, the writers wrote that Father Reverend Christopher, of course, hosted Amin with a Bible. When you put that one in the Google, you will get much more from him. And even Obote betrayed us and arrested him. This is why for us, for NASA, every 14th October we remember and recognize Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. Arrested him and took him to Ruzra. Then when Mwalimu Julius Nyerere ran of it, flew from Dar es Salaam to here, compelled Obote to release him, he made him and secure his life back to Tanzania, while the Bush struggle was in its initial stages.
A lot of history there, and I hope you've got a bit of, should I say, closure, but also hope of continuity, as Vianney Matovu is looking forward to visiting Tororo in regards to that war fighter and a hero at that. Good morning, Uganda. I'd like to think Uganda needs another liberation. What does Mr. Matovu comment about Dr. Kizza Besigye and the recent elections? What do you have to say about that question?
The issue of Dr. Kizza Besigye is similar to what happened to Joy Mwanga. I don't know how Kenya is behaving. Kenya is having that habit of incriminating people, because what we have, and which Kenya doesn't deny, is that Kizza Besigye had gone to Kenya to attend the inauguration of a book by Martha Karua. And then later, the arrests bringing him back, it is Kenya to explain what, because this is the second person of Ugandan origin being arrested in Kenya and brought back under unexplained circumstances. That of Besigye, the problem with that of Besigye, when you get your family and surrender it to the foreigners, things cannot be settled in a brotherly way. These historical members of ours, this is why I agitate much for historical council. If Besigye is appearing within our council, together with Comrade Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, we can settle it as brothers and sisters inside. Because there is much more we know about each other. There are very much more attachment between us, which we can remember even if there is a big problem and settle it. It is like when you have children at home. When they make a mistake, do you kill them or you only discipline as a parent? But now when it crosses court, with court is written law, the Bible tells us that a written law only hangs and kills. It doesn't listen to you. When a law is stipulating that you are supposed to be sentenced for 1,000 years, the magistrate will not say that this man life expectancy doesn't reach there, must sentence you to that written law. So at the fall of hammer, that is what is in court. There is what they are telling us, that at the fall of hammer, when the hammer falls, what next? Rules of life. So if the SJ is appearing between the council, these things are very simple. It can be with us, we can settle it as brothers and sisters. But the problem now is in foreigners. The reason why I use that sense, Besigye, what he is claiming and complaining about has attachment with the liberation struggle. But now to be charged hard and even produced is being produced into foreigners who are called courts. Court officers with that business of you saying that I fought, I sacrificed. First of all, they don't know. Secondly, they don't want to hear. Theirs is run the judges, run the lawyers, whatever. Yours is bogus, you are not run. You have to appear. The law is in their books. Hey, they proceed with proceedings. They call them proceedings. They proceed you with the proceedings. Whichever will come out with the judgment at their favor. If not at their value of their favor, you are in hell, called prison.
Right. Let's look at the role of women during that struggle. Were women part of it? Are there women who are heroes that are being celebrated on this day?
Women, the synopsis of women in the military history of Uganda began with Fronasa. No any wing of the fighters that had them. We emulated this from Mozambique through a red called Josina Mtemba. Josina Mtemba fought the Portuguese because by then they were knowing that a woman cannot hold a gun, cannot fight, cannot command the war, the front. He was the first example. When we learned of it, we integrated them. The first one was Joy Mirembe. But now here in Uganda, this is why I wrote a letter to His Excellency the President, and I wrote to the Minister of Gender. I myself, I don't want it to affect others. Let it affect me alone. I want to change International Women's Day, which is being celebrated here. We form it into those women you are asking me about. We celebrate ours here. Like in Mozambique, for them they don't celebrate the International Women's Day. They celebrate the day when Josina Mtemba died. And we support them. We always celebrate it. I always read my members. We show solidarity to Mozambique and we celebrate it. than going to international women. You know, Uganda here, we want to live worldwide. We are living like those the astronauts. We have an astronaut syndrome. Those who left the Earth to go to the Mars and fail to get food there, they are packaging food from the Earth. What are you doing in the Mars if you don't have life there? And you package oxygen and what? For us, we are fond of Wildlife Day. Where is wildlife in the European world? When you make it wildlife, is it for them? For us, we are the ones having national parks. Wildlife is here. Why not Uganda wildlife celebration? We need to change all of those so that we can call and cause those Europeans to come here and celebrate our own basis and background of the history of Uganda.
Right.
Because Uganda cannot challenge the inventors, the circumnavigators, the what they call whatever dignities they hold by then, to recognize and surrender that Uganda is a part of Africa. And then for us, we sell it back to the European world, celebrating their world history, world whatever. And even in the packaging of the syllabus, we must chase out the syllabus of the European history, calling us the dark continent. Where is darkness here? We have the sun. We have the moon. Where is darkness? Even the electricity, which is natural. Where is darkness? They are the ones who are in dark.
As we begin to conclude, allow me to delve into some of the comments that are coming through. Somebody wanted your number. I wonder if that's okay to give it to them. And good morning, UBC. I'm Enoch from Kabale. Please let our visitor talk about the issues of Dr. Kizza Besigye as we celebrate Heroes Day. He has talked about them. Good. Hello to you too. Thank you so much for watching. I concur with the speaker in studio on the curriculum. It has left important things and brought in things that weaken African thinking and creativity. This is Canon Emma. Thank you so much, Canon Emma, for being on the show. Good morning, UBC. I'm Amanya Justus from Mitoma District. This man has elaborated real reasons why Uganda, Africa must shine. I'd like him to be my mentor. Otherwise, thank you for the show. Happy Heroes Day to you. And good morning, I'm Obitre Vasco from East African Medical Vitals Company. Namanve, I love to follow UBC radio programs. Thank you so much. And good morning, UBC. We, the Fronasa community of Awere in Omoro district, are totally forgotten. No appointment in government, no project for the community, no scholarship. We are completely at the side. When will we be included in the agenda? Odonga Terence in Gulu City. Good morning, UBC. I'm Dennis Kuria from Entebbe. My request is that His Excellency forgive Dr. Besigye, and have they reached with Okello? Where have they reached with the case of Okello? Because Arsenal won the premiership. Good morning. Thank you for the shock talk. Thank you for the talk show. I'm Pastor Byaruhanga Charles Mgarura from Namutumba. Thank you, Pastor, for being on the show. Good morning, UBC. I need the contact of that intelligent man. All right, we'll see about that as to how best you can get in touch with him. But Vianney, as we conclude, what are your concerns about Uganda's future on this Heroes Day?
The Uganda's future is to change the syllabus. You know, the syllabus which the Europeans left here causes conflicts. Because when you are a lawyer, when there are no cases, civil conflicts, you can't earn a living. So you must cause them yourselves. When you are a historian, when there is no bad history or good history, no writing of books, we must change to an African way of education. The African way of education was vocational. With vocations, that's why even the call for God was vocational. With vocations, there is no conflict. Each family can have its own job, its own industry. If they are blacksmithing, by the way, let me inform Ugandans, they always tell us about technology, the most sophisticated technologies were Africans.
Africans, yes.
That's why in the first books, before the Africans learned that we are going to reclaim and change, calling it digital, those are the terminologies they are bringing to smuggle our own science. The first inventory of science was called blacksmithing. Let them tell me whether these Trumps and the Israelites and the French are black to be called blacksmithing. This is what will make us with the right future. Even going to Sandhurst, Kabarega of here, of Uganda, was the first founder of the military academy. But they hide them there. They don't take people to visit and study what Kabarega did there. There is this gentleman who was in Tanzania, in Iringa, was called Mukwanyikivu. But for them, they failed the name when they were writing, they wrote Mukwawa. Mukwawa made an ambush to these Europeans. 300 of them in a single engagement were down. They even smuggled our knowledge. It is what they are using, these Europeans. When he died, they took the head to examine and get the secrecy of wisdom there. It is what they are using there. They cannot tell you. After smuggling our wisdom, then they start changing what is coming to suppress us with war. Let us shy away from warmongering. And this politics of opposition should cease. Let there be politics of competition, politics of accommodation. But now politics here are staggering. When you are a NUP partisan, when they appoint you a minister within this government, your fellow NUP must fight. They don't want you to go and attend this Heroes Day because the NRMs are very many there. Let us behave like Tanzania. Tanzania, the delegates conference of CCM, Chadema, they are there. TLP, they are there. Civic United Front, they are there. And they come clad within their uniform. But here when NRM is having a rally there, when you come dressed in a UPM here, you are teared in two pieces.
Right.
Let us have healthy minds of understanding each other and playing a fair play. And that's what will save us from these issues of political prisoners here. We didn't open space. That's how they said, opening up space. This space was opened for us to share ideas.
Right.
I buy yours, you buy mine. We converge them together. We sort out what is common with us, like the simplest mathematics of common denominator. Common. We must be common with one another and accommodate each other and develop the highest sense of patience. We must be patient with each other.
All right. Thank you very much, Vianney Matovu, Chief Whip and National Political Commissar of FRONASA, which is the Front for National Salvation, as he has rightly corrected us, that it was not a rebel group, but the European or colonized English changes it to change the narrative of what its mission was. But here we are, 2026, celebrating him and many more as the heroes of Uganda who fought and struggled for the Uganda that we are living in today. Thank you so much for being on the show and being part of the show. At 10 a.m., the president will be addressing the country to commemorate Heroes Day and talk matters of national importance. Will be airing on TV here on UBC TV, radios, and of course on social media. As we close this, allow me put a point of congratulations to the president, district governor of the Rotary District 9213. And on this Heroes Day, the Rotary Club of Kampala East is chairing the election of one of its own, Kaziro Chambade, as district governor-elect for Rotary District 9218 for the 2028 to 2029 Rotary year. The announcement has sparked widespread excitement across the regional Rotary fraternity. positioning Chambade to steer the district, which oversees clubs dedicated to community transformation and impactful service, into a new era of leadership. Expressing immense pride in his milestone achievement, members of the Kampala East Club have voiced unwavering confidence in Chambade's dedication, noting that his guidance will undoubtedly drive the district toward achieving even greater milestones in community development. That ends today's edition of Good Morning Uganda. Let's do this again tomorrow, which will be a Wednesday. Good morning.